Today's video is definitely going to be very interesting because we will talk about two major topics. First is the bottom already in, or do we see further retracement? And the second one is that I talked yesterday on my German YouTube channel about one scenario that played out very well. And this scenario I will pick up and we'll talk about that later. First of all, we will have a look at if the bottom is in or not. So in this scenario, I'm starting here in a monthly time frame. In this monthly time frame, you can see that we have to the downward our accumulation and distribution indicator. So if you observe this indicator to the downward, you can see whenever we had an accumulation phase and whenever we had an distribution phase. Our accumulation phase, after this one, distribution phase, where we saw like a mark up, and after this it goes downwards, right? So here we got our first accumulation phase in around 2014 to 2016. Was a bit longer accumulation phase, but after this accumulation phase, you can see that we saw like a massive pump from here on, right? This was our distribution phase, and you can see that we saw like a new all-time high around 19 to 20,000 with the peak. Here you can see it, right? So, and after this, we saw like an sell-off, and this sell-off leads towards the next accumulation phase. You can also see it downwards, right? From 2018 to 2019 September was not so long as the one before, but we saw also like an accumulation phase, and you can always see that the movement around here is the same. We see like an rounding bottom, and then after this we saw like an small pump from here on. Yes, and then we saw the next accumulation phase around this area, but we are continuously always in an uptrend right from here on to this. When we see this, it's like a continuous uptrend, right? So, and right now where we are with the price, we are heading towards our next accumulation phase, and that's why I would say we haven't finished this accumulation phase, and we also haven't already reached our bottom, because when we also go to this weekly time frame over here, you can see we have our falling wedge scenario, and a falling wedge scenario is considered as an bullish pattern, and this bullish pattern is about to play out very good, because you can see over here we have our strong line of resistance. Always when we reach this resistance, we got rejected and see a further pullback and a further downwards move. And right now we have a very strong line of support that holds the line. We can see it around this area, and this area is a very important area, because when we play out this falling wedge in a proper way, also this accumulation phase will play out very well. I'm very convinced to say this, because when we look at this monthly time frame, you can see we see this downwards trend and also this sell-off, and this sell-off leads in our accumulation phase, and after an accumulation phase, the next markup phase can begin. And that was the answer that I wanted to give you guys on the question if the bottom is in or not. And right now I would say let's switch to charts and watch at our 4 hourly time frames. In this 4 hourly time frames, I have 3 different type of chart patterns, and this is one that played out already very well, because we have our adamant Eve pattern. We talked about this one last time in our video, and you can see we have our major resistance, what was in support before, and this resistance also rejected our price once, and also at this current stage twice. But this pattern, as I said, played out very well, because the first rejection is our retest area, right? You can see it in this, when I make this line red, so you can see it right over here. We have our retest, and after this retest we saw like not that massive sell-off, but it played out like an more like this, right? You can see we have a consolidation range bound, and this is also what we can witness over here, right? We have this consolidation range bound, and then we saw a rejection at the same area. And why this area, guys? I will say you, this is a very interesting area, because we have this one pattern, right? And this is in descending triangle, and the descending triangle out of a downtrend is considered as a bearish pattern. But I also said to you guys in my yesterday's video, if we don't see a further retracement or a sell-off, and if we don't want to look at this pattern as a descending triangle, guys, I have a very, very interesting chart pattern for you that I saw in this chart. We saw also our falling wedge type of scenario, and this falling wedge type of scenario played out very, very well. You can see it over here. We have our resistance line, and this resistance line was a very, very strong line of resistance. And you can see whenever we reach this resistance line with our wicks, right, we got rejected, and then price saw more pullback and then a retracement, and the lower line area was a very, very strong line of support, and we got our support, right? And after this support we saw our breakout. First we got like a retest over here at the same area. When we take this one line and stretch it, here you can see we saw our retest, and after this retest we hit our price target at 19,900 to 19,800 around this area, and we got rejected around this area. What's my take on this chart pattern right now? If we see like further retracement, guys, listen, if we see further retracement, we have like enough space to go down below, and we see like maybe a sell-off to 18,200, because at this area we have very, very massive support. You can see it over here, and also this rectangle box over here, this white box, right? The upper line area is around 18,200 and the lower line area is around 18,000. So if we see like a pullback, more like a sell-off scenario, then 18,200 can be on the line. But if we see like a rally over here, right, 19,800 is the area where we got rejected. 19,800 to 19,900 is the area where we got rejected right now. If we want to see like more like a relief rally, I want to say you guys that we have to overcome this resistance line around this area, and then we can see more like a relief rally. We saw like rejection around that area. 21,700 would be a very, very nice area if we can see this rally going on from here. And that was what I wanted to share with you guys in today's video. So if you like my work and also the scenarios that I showed you, make sure you subscribe to this channel, leave the thumbs up, and also guys, I would be very, very happy if you write a comment down below this video. See you guys, bye bye.